There is a quiet truth that most of us spend our lives avoiding, and yet it is the very truth that can set us free. The more tightly we hold on, the more we suffer. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. But when your hand is open, relaxed, the sand rests gently without resistance. This is the essence of non-attachment. The Buddha once sat with a disciple who was deeply troubled. The man had lost wealth, status, and relationships, and he said, "I feel like my life is falling apart." The Buddha calmly asked him, "Was it ever truly yours?" In that moment, the man began to see that his suffering was not from loss itself, but from his belief that he owned what was never permanent. Non-attachment does not mean you stop loving, striving, or caring. It means you stop clinging. There is a difference. Clinging says, "I need this to be happy." Love says, "I appreciate this while it is here." In my own journey, I once met a monk who owned almost nothing. No possessions beyond a robe and a bowl. Yet he carried a presence that felt fuller than anyone I had ever known. I asked him, "Do you never wish for more?" He smiled and said, "When I stopped chasing more, I finally had enough." We live in a world that constantly tells us to accumulate more. More success, more validation, more control. But the truth is, attachment creates fear. Fear of loss, fear of change, fear of not being enough, and fear quietly steals the joy from everything we try to hold on to. The Buddha taught that suffering begins the moment we say, "This must stay the same." But life is movement. Relationships evolve, bodies age, circumstances shift. When we resist this flow, we create tension within ourselves. Think about the last time you felt anxious. Beneath that anxiety, there was likely something you were trying to hold on to. An outcome, an expectation, a version of yourself. Non-attachment invites you to loosen that grip and trust the unfolding of life. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming present. You still work, you still love, you still dream, but you are no longer imprisoned by the need for things to go exactly your way. There is a story of a farmer whose horse ran away. His neighbors said, "This is terrible." The farmer replied, "Maybe." Days later, the horse returned with more horses. "How wonderful," they said. "Maybe," he answered again. When his son later fell and broke his leg while riding one of the new horses, the neighbors called it tragedy. "Maybe," the farmer said. Soon after, soldiers came to recruit young men for war, but his son was spared. This story reminds us that clinging to immediate judgments, good or bad, binds us to suffering. Non-attachment allows life to unfold without forcing meaning too soon. So how do we practice this in our daily lives? Start by noticing where you cling. Is it to approval, to control, to the idea of who you think you should be? Gently observe it without judgment. Then practice gratitude without ownership. Instead of saying, "This is mine forever," say, "I am grateful for this moment." That small shift changes everything. Finally, return to the present. Non-attachment lives here, not in the past you can't change or the future you can't control. The truth is, letting go is not losing. It is making space for peace, for clarity, for genuine joy that does not depend on conditions. As the Buddha taught, you only lose what you cling to. And when you release that grip, you may discover something unexpected. You were never empty without those things. You were simply unaware of the fullness already within you. So today, ask yourself gently, what am I holding on to that is holding me back? And what might my life feel like if I finally let go,